Good morning. It's been a couple of weeks here. I appreciate the feedback from the last video. So this video is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to try to take everything that you guys are saying, take into account obviously current events, other things that are going, history, and really try to help formulate a solution. In sitting back in hindsight and realizing, with taking into account what people have said and kind of my thoughts and replaying that back through my head, I wanted to start by saying, one, I think starting the conversation was the first part. Now we need to, empower everybody to get educated. And educated, I mean appropriately. And that starts with, one, getting educated on what self-awareness is. Now, I'm going to be plain Jane as I have been in the past and kind of straightforward and to the point. And hopefully this will help somebody keep this conversation going in a positive direction and help us come to some sort of solution together. The more we spread this around, the more people that get educated, the more people that take action in a positive way, more than likely the positive outcome results will have. But it could be a while. It's going to take some time. We got a lot of pain, a lot of history, a lot of ignoring of those histories. So we got to make it right, and we got to get this thing right for the rest of us to live lives to the fullest, but also for the future of our kids, which is really important. We don't leave this world a worse place than what it was when we got on it. I know a lot of things have changed since I was a kid, and my parents were for me, etc. So, back to my self-awareness point, first thing I can say about self-awareness is exactly like it sounds. Now, it sounds simple, it sounds easy, but believe me, it is probably the hardest thing, I've ever had to deal with in my life, and it's still something I'm working on to this day. Self-awareness is when you fully understand your body, your mind, your soul, who you are, what you're meant to be, your strengths, your weaknesses. It's really understanding that and being honest with that. For instance, I am a horrible organizer. As you see, even when I talk to these videos, I can't always get my thoughts out right, and I've got a million miles worth of information that kind of circulates through my mind at any given moment. So I have no filter, and it just kind of bumbles out the way it does. So it's not really my strength. If you ask me to sit down and write something out and then, do these videos, it wouldn't really work for me because it's not true from the heart, and my mind moves way too fast. There would be too much information. It would kind of dilute or confuse really what I'm trying to get to, and sometimes that still happens. But again, it's a weakness I have, and again, it's a weakness that I'm not proud of, but at the same time, not beating my own tail for. So again, being aware of your weaknesses, but not beating yourself up, that's one thing. And another thing is be aware of your strengths, but kind of stick to your strengths. The better you know yourself, the more self-awareness you have, the easier it is for you to sit down and try to understand others and their strengths and their weaknesses, rather than sitting there and judging them and, not understanding. Again, I go back to the original concept. I live my life by a simple saying, and I wish I could go back to who said it. I just learned it so many years ago, is seek to understand, then be understood. Now, again, a lot of this sounds so easy. It's not easy. I'm not saying it's easy. We as human beings are pre-wired to make the simplest of things the most difficult of things. I don't know why that is. It's weird. It's something that I constantly explore and research, but not something necessarily that we're all really any good at. So again, that gives me a better understanding of not to be judgmental against somebody that has the same weaknesses I have, and most of us have a lot of similar weaknesses. And I think again, I go back to what I just said a couple minutes ago. If you have a good self-awareness, the next step will be taking that phrase, seek to understand, then be understood, and then putting it out into the world. Helping the next person out, educating them, sharing with them, and uplifting the next person to get to that point of self-awareness for themselves, so that can kind of breed itself through each and every community. So then when we're sitting down and having these conversations, it's easier to have an honest conversation without all the volatility, without the violence, or without the worry, or without the fear, or you know anything negative therein. The way to get through most problems is attack it head on. But the problem is that most people attack things head on emotionally. Anytime you attack something emotionally, more than likely you're going to get a bad result at the end of it. But if you're doing it with some sense of real core logic and understanding, it's easier to have the conversation. It's easier to come up with a solution. But you got to be open-minded and allow yourself to hear everybody out and work through that problem with everybody as a team. A community is essentially a good team, and I think a lot of us have forgotten what a community is. It doesn't have race. It doesn't have color, religion, age, sexism. It doesn't have any of that in it, and that's what's baffling to me at points, because again, as smart as we are, as many things as we have accomplished, we kind of fall flat on this. So, again, I'll kind of make this back and make it simple and kind of a roundabout, because I want you to share more. I think the more we share with each other and the more we interact with each other, the closer we're going to come to a solution. I just want this to get out to more people to help, not only my community here in Virginia. And again, yes, I know some people thought I was not from Virginia. I'm actually from Virginia, Hampton Roads, Virginia, which I love. All the 7 cities. I mean, I grew up here. I was born on Langley Air Force Base, but I love my friends in California and Los Angeles because I've lived there. I have friends out in New York. I have friends all over the world. And I love the community we've created, but I want to help bring the community that we've created and that positivity into hopefully helping us all come up with a better solution. So again, I'm using some of that as well in trying to help, do these videos and help us all come up with these solutions and keep this conversation going. Again, I'm not going to take away anything from the lives that have been lost. I think that's the number one thing that should have jarred everybody loose many, 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 many years ago. These lives are precious. No life is above another life. I know that is hard to hear for some people, but it's the truth of the matter. We're all human beings. I said it before. So not one life is more special than another. No human being is more special than another. We all share this earth together. We all have our own lives to live, and God gave us that right to choose. And again, whether your God is Buddha or your God is Jesus, it doesn't. I'm not going to argue with you about that. We all have our life. We all got that right to choose, but we got to choose appropriately. I think we're meant for better things, and I think we need to all realize that. And our biggest fear, as I've once been told, is we're inadequate, and we've got to erase that theory. And especially in the black community, they have always been told they're inadequate for different reasons. And if you disbelieve that, go look it up historically. They've been told they were inadequate, but yet we're fine and dandy, saying, hey, well, they're phenomenal at, playing basketball or football, or, phenomenal rappers, but, they're not really meant for business, which is bull. Because look at, somebody today, look at Ben Carson, looking at Jay-Z, those are 2 totally different personalities. Whether you like either one of them, that's not my point. They're both successful black businessmen that prove and break the mold. I'm kind of going to leave this thought. I want you to check out this video. I think, from my video, I want to transfer it to another video, and this is for the Breakfast Club morning show out of New York. They actually just had a rapper by the name of A$AP Rocky, which I love his music, but, I love his passion for all human beings. And he went to clarify a statement he had made from some previous interviews, and a lot of people were giving him flack on social media, so he felt it right to stand up and go out and say something. But a lot of his points that he had to say, I feel, and I think there's a lot of benefit when we all sit down and listen to each other and listen to an interview like his. Take the 45 minutes out of your day and then take that conversation and go have that positive conversation with others, so we can start working on all things, not just racism, not just the fact that, you've got some rotten police officers. Again, not all police officers. Majority of police officers are not, the problem. It's just some, and that's in every career field. It's in every walk of life. There's just always those few that, are the bad eggs and need help. And when I say bad, I'm not saying that they're bad in the sense that they're the most horrific people. Maybe they just make stupid decisions. They're scared. They're scary, and they don't need to be in the career they're in. And there's a lot of talk that we could get onto that, but I'm not going to carry that through this video. It's already going to be too long as it is, and I apologize. But I really want to get some points across that will, again, help further this conversation and help us all, bring back that sense of community and love and uplift and sharing. I mean, again, I say go look at ASAP Rocky and what his video just came out 2 days ago at the Breakfast Club where they interviewed him. That's a great video to go watch. And then I'll say pay attention to other people as well out there that are trying to look for all humanity. Humanity is exactly what it is. It means that, again, it doesn't require race, color, whatnot. It's all of us. And I think that's what we need to get back to. So first, it starts with us as individuals. We got to look at ourselves in the mirror and become really self-aware and really get our thorough understanding of who we are so that we can accept and understand and have a good conversation with somebody else to help solve bigger global problems, not just racism, but we're also talking poverty. We're also talking, equal liberties. We're talking a lot of problems we have to solve, and we can do it. We can solve it together, but we got to stop being lazy. We got to stop, having negative conversations and attacking each other. We got to really get back to that self-awareness standpoint, get knowledge and educated. Don't just trust a single news source. Do your research. Don't take hearsay. Take your, word for mouth out of somebody else. I think we all learned the game of telephone at an early age is a dangerous game, because by the time it gets back around, it's totally changed from the original context of what it was. So, again, I appreciate everybody's, comments and thoughts and uplifting spirit and trying to work to help come up with a solution together, whether you're, using your faith to do so, or whether you're using your words, or whether you're going out and protesting and you're being peaceful and positive and you're just continuing the conversation. I applaud you and I thank you, for listening to me and, actually having some value in something that, is very passionate for me, for all of us, that we get this thing right, for our kids, for ourselves, and show the world that we are not the United States that they think that we are, that we could actually bring the world together as well. I think there's a bigger picture. There's something we could do bigger. But again, I'm going to try to take what you say from this one and, again, keep coming with some good information, and hopefully we can get to this solution that we need to get. But leave your comments below and let me know what you think. Again, I love reaching out, and I'll try to talk to as many of you as I can as you respond. I'm sorry if I haven't responded yet. Again, I'm still a family man, taking care of my kids and my wife and my coworkers, my friends, my family in the local area, and trying to be involved in my community as well. To start in my community and where I'm at to help do exactly what I'm saying to do on these videos. I think it's important that we all walk our talk. And it's easy to say an opinion, but hard to get out there and create the action. So I'm trying to do this and give us the information and keep us together, and then go out there and do the action as well. So thank you again for everything, and let's get this world a better place. And everybody, be safe. Much love to everybody out there, and look forward to seeing your comments and kind of keep going on this solution. Thank you.